Have you ever wondered how cities, with all their resources and planning, still make massive mistakes that cost them billions? It might sound unbelievable, but it happens more often than you think. From faulty infrastructure to financial mismanagement, these costly errors can have a huge impact on both the economy and the people who live there. So how do these mistakes happen? And what can cities learn from them? Stick around as we dive into 7 expensive mistakes that have cost cities billions, starting with a disaster you won't believe. What's your take on this? The collapse of the Lotus Riverside complex in Shanghai, China. Imagine buying your dream home in a brand new residential complex only to watch it collapse before your eyes. That was the nightmare faced by residents of the Lotus Riverside complex in Shanghai in 2009. The 13-story building, which was nearing completion, suddenly crumbled to the ground, killing one person and injuring others. The cause? A series of catastrophic construction errors, including the improper removal of supporting soil and a lack of structural integrity in the building's foundation. What was meant to be a modern marvel of luxury living turned into a devastating disaster. The collapse shocked the city and the world, revealing just how fragile some of our most ambitious construction projects can be when proper safety checks and balances aren't in place. The aftermath was costly, not just in terms of human life and physical damage, but financially. The total cost of reconstruction was estimated at $30 million, and the financial hit didn't stop there. The developers had to pay compensation to the affected families and deal with a massive public relations disaster. The incident also led to a nationwide reassessment of construction practices, highlighting the need for stronger building codes and more thorough inspections. It's a harsh reminder that cutting corners in construction can have dire consequences. The question remains, how many more cities are unknowingly sitting on ticking time bombs? How can we ensure this doesn't happen again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The Lake Peigneur disaster in Louisiana, USA. In 1980, an oil drilling operation in Louisiana triggered an event that no one could have predicted. What was supposed to be a routine oil extraction from beneath Lake Peigneur turned into a full-blown disaster when the drilling rig accidentally punctured the roof of an underground salt mine. What followed was something straight out of a science fiction movie. A massive whirlpool began to form, sucking in everything in its path: oil rigs, barges, trees, and even an entire island. The force of nature was so strong that it reversed the flow of the nearby Delcombre Canal, draining the lake into the mine below. The financial toll was staggering. The direct costs were substantial, with damages running into the tens of millions of dollars. But the real shocker came from the environmental and legal aftermath. The lake and surrounding ecosystem were severely contaminated, and the recovery process was painstakingly slow. But the most staggering cost was the impact on public trust in industrial operations. The companies involved were forced to pay millions in compensation, and the incident served as a stark warning about the dangers of drilling and mining in such delicate ecosystems. It also raised questions about the safety practices in place at the time. This was a costly lesson, one that affected not only the businesses involved but also the residents who lived around the lake. So how much safety should we expect from these kinds of operations? Can we ever truly guarantee there won't be another disaster like this one? Share your thoughts below. London's Walkie-Talkie skyscraper's sunlight scorch. Here's a skyscraper that made more headlines for what it reflected than for its architecture. London's Walkie-Talkie building, completed in 2014, was designed to be a stunning architectural marvel. But it quickly gained infamy for something entirely unexpected. The concave shape of the glass exterior had an unintended effect. It acted like a giant mirror, reflecting and intensifying sunlight down onto the streets below. In 2013, just months after the building opened, a local car was parked on a nearby street, and the sunlight reflecting off the building's surface was so intense it caused the car's bodywork to warp. It didn't stop there. Shop doormats were singed, and one poor shopkeeper even had to deal with the heat, causing a wooden sign to catch fire. The financial implications were enormous. The building's developers had to spend millions to install a permanent sunshade on the building's southern facade, ensuring no more sunburns in the streets below. But that wasn't all. This design flaw added significant costs to the construction, delaying the building's completion and raising doubts about the city's architecture and planning regulations. The incident served as a stark reminder of the importance of considering all possible consequences when designing monumental structures. It's a fascinating case of how even the most innovative designs can have unintended costly side effects. What's your take? Could better planning have prevented this, or was it simply bad luck? Let me know in the comments below. NASA's Mars Climate Orbiter loss. Imagine putting years of hard work into a mission that's meant to unlock the secrets of Mars, only to lose it because of a simple, avoidable mistake. That's exactly what happened in 1999 with NASA's Mars Climate Orbiter. The goal was to study the Martian atmosphere and send back invaluable data. However, the mission ended in disaster when the orbiter was lost in space, its communications failing as it approached the planet. The cause? A critical mix-up between two teams. One used metric units, and the other used imperial units. This seemingly small error in unit conversion caused the orbiter to fly too low in its orbit and burn up in Mars's atmosphere. The cost of this mistake was astronomical. $125 million was gone in an instant. But the real damage wasn't just financial. This incident highlighted a lack of standardization between teams, exposing flaws in NASA's internal procedures. The loss was a blow to the space agency's reputation and prompted a complete overhaul of project management practices. It's a tough reminder that, in high-stakes projects, even a tiny detail, like choosing the right units, can lead to disaster. Think about it, we've sent rovers, probes, and satellites to space, but one mistaken measurement brought an entire mission to its knees. So do you think such small details can make or break a mission? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. How can organizations prevent such costly oversights in the future? The collapse of the Seongsu Bridge in Seoul, South Korea. Imagine driving across a bridge when, without warning, it suddenly crumbles beneath you. This nightmarish scenario became a reality in Seoul on October 21, 1994, when the Seongsu Bridge, a crucial link connecting parts of the city, collapsed during rush hour. 32 people tragically lost their lives, and over 100 others were injured. The collapse was linked to design and construction flaws that had been overlooked during its creation in 1978. It wasn't just about faulty materials. Poor planning and a lack of proper inspection led to the eventual disaster. The financial cost of this mistake was staggering. The immediate reconstruction cost around $2 million, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. Public trust in infrastructure was shattered, and the long-term economic effects were severe. The city had to invest millions more in safety inspections and rebuilding critical infrastructure, not to mention compensating the victims' families. Beyond the numbers, it was a wake-up call for cities worldwide about the need for proper engineering oversight. This tragedy also sparked a nationwide reassessment of bridge safety, prompting changes in how bridges are designed and maintained to avoid another catastrophe. If you're wondering what lessons we can take from this, it's clear, infrastructure projects need rigorous checks, transparency, and a commitment to safety. Without these, the consequences can be devastating, not just financially but emotionally for those affected. So what do you think? Could better planning have saved those lives? The Peral submarine's design flaw in Spain. Submarine technology is one of the most precise fields of engineering. One small flaw can lead to a huge problem. In Spain, the Peral submarine project hit a massive snag when designers realized that the vessel was overweight by an astonishing 75 to 100 tons. This error wasn't due to faulty materials or poor craftsmanship. It was all down to a simple mistake in design calculations. A misplaced decimal point in the design phase resulted in a submarine that was too heavy, requiring the hull to be extended by several meters to compensate for the weight. This mistake cost Spain a fortune. Each meter added to the hull came with an additional price tag of $9.7 million. The total cost for corrections soared into the millions, delaying the project and frustrating both the developers and the Spanish Navy. This blunder wasn't just a financial hit, it also tarnished Spain's reputation in the global submarine industry, highlighting the importance of precision in military technology. The lesson here is clear. In engineering, one wrong calculation can have far-reaching consequences, from draining budgets to compromising national defense projects. What's your take on this? Should there have been a more rigorous review process before construction began? Let me know what you think in the comments below. The financial mismanagement of New York City's MTA. New York City's Metropolitan Transportation Authority is the lifeblood of the city's transportation system, moving millions of people daily. But behind the scenes, a series of financial mismanagement issues have led to billions of dollars in losses, funds that could have been used to improve the subway, buses, and other vital services. One of the biggest financial hits has come from unpaid tolls on the city's bridges and tunnels. In fact, the MTA loses over $5 billion annually due to toll evasion alone. That's not all. The city's subway fares are another sore spot, with nearly $800 million in losses from fare evasion in 1 year. These leaks in the system drain resources that could go toward maintaining the infrastructure or improving services for commuters. The situation becomes even more frustrating when you consider the financial strain placed on taxpayers. The MTA continues to receive funding from public coffers, yet its inability to efficiently collect tolls and fares means that taxpayers are, in effect, covering the costs of these mistakes. While the MTA has made attempts to improve fare collection systems and crack down on toll evasion, the problem persists, leading many to question whether the system is being run efficiently or if it's in dire need of a full overhaul. For a city as bustling as New York, the idea that so much money is slipping through the cracks is baffling. The question we have to ask is, can a city of this size and complexity afford to keep losing this kind of money? How can we ensure that these billions aren't just wasted? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Do you think New York's MTA could have done more to stop the financial bleeding? And there you have it, 7 expensive mistakes that have cost cities billions. It's a real eye-opener, right? What do you think could have been done to prevent these costly blunders? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss an update from Dwellscape. And, of course, make sure to subscribe for more insights on architecture, real estate, and the world's biggest urban mistakes. See you in the next one.